Hey guys, here's how solid we're getting. Page speed is the last real bit of development we have to add to our arsenal, and it's hard, but it's worth it. Page speed is a direct ranking factor, a fact known even better since Google's algorithm speed update. Okay? Now, page speed on an old website like we did for the locksmith 7 years ago. This is what page speed normally looks like on most websites out there. Desktop is better, mobile is worse, mostly are in the yellow. Maybe you got one or two things in the green in the middle. The hardest ones are the outer two, but especially performance. And especially performance on mobile. That right there, mobile performance is like the sweet spot if you can get that puppy in the green. And then for every point higher you can climb between 90 and 100, for every point higher, that's incrementally harder all the way up the ladder. You've got to go through everything, the HTML, CSS, JS, the way you call stuff in, the way you call in scripts, everything. All right, having said that, I just want to walk through this. We now have 10 websites that we're generating the HTML on these things, but we've got 10 that are way in the green, okay? Like this one here, all right? That's 10. We've got 45 total themes that we're working with these days, 10 already. We've been doing them for the locksmiths. And that covers for all you guys as well. By the way, how fast is fast? Look, load, 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 load. I mean, as fast as I click, it's loaded. I cannot click 2 links before the first one's fully loaded. That's insane, okay? That's what I mean. Now, again, just like, look at these scores. 99 on a desktop. 96 on mobile, just nuts for incredible, okay? Now, again, now we have formatting to do on this website, right? I gotta like find the links in here. We gotta shove the content down, no big deal. We'll get to it, but just as fast as I can click a link, it's done, okay? Over and over again, we got like 10. Look at this, ready? Click, 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 click. All right? Just to point it out, I mean, it's absolutely insane. Okay, now that I said that, what do I want to say? The difference is huge too. There is like the locksmith website, one of those, and it's a C, you know, and it's totally in the yellow. And I'm talking about GT metrics because it's a totally different ranking set of rules than page speed insights. If you can beat page speed insights or GT metrics, you're doing great. It's very hard to do both at the same time, but now we got it. So for instance, all these websites that we've been pushing out are A. And then when you see like B, C, and B, take a look over here. The ones that are A's, okay, we checked in on them recently. The ones that are B, C, and B, this is like 8 days ago, 11 days ago, 16 days ago, okay? Just want to make the point. We're getting it, totally getting it. Now, what would it normally take to get scores like this? The AAA in GT metrics, you know, and scores like this on mobile, and they don't even guarantee it, is NitroPack. For example, there's NitroPack, there's Lightspeed Web Server, there's Nginx, and people show videos and compare them. And the biggest one that's being pushed right now is NitroPack on a case-by-case, just straight evaluation, which is better, NitroPack or Lightspeed, NitroPack or Nginx kind of thing, okay? And because they're as good as they are, they charge a healthy penny. If you want this and you want that, get this. It'll cost you $150 a month almost for one website, okay? One website, all right? If you have a bunch of websites, you're going to have to contact them for multiple websites, see if you can get a discount, but it's not going to be that much of a discount. It'll be something. They might say, hey, you got 10, we'll do $100 each. So it'll be $1,000 a month for your 10 websites. If you go to monthly, it's $176 a month, right? So if you want to go yearly, you got to prepay that. That's what, $1,500, so $1,800. Drop it, and that's for the paid speed for the year at the discount. $1,800 up front. Okay, so there you go. That's NitroPack, and that's one charge you would have to pay for the year, because there's another charge when you look at creating content well, and that's the second thing. I want to keep going. Cool. Okay, Skinius, right? That's our first landscaping website that's built on expired or auction domains, and we built it and then we started recreating original pages they had to take advantage of backlinks that already exist, right? And sure enough, we've been seeing the backlinks kicking back in on the website. It's getting measured. Anyway, I want to make a point. We are, as a matter of fact, I should start the point here. Finally, what are we doing differently? Okay, I've been talking about everything we know we're doing right. Okay, we know we're writing the content correctly. We know we can beat the AI versus human comparison. We know we can keep up with solid content for the topics. We can draw on images, all the stuff, right? And our page speed is off the charts without having to pay that $1,800 a year to get it to happen. Having said that, how do we know if we're doing anything wrong? Like if we're putting time and effort into this, and we're watching SpyFu, we're watching for other factors, and we're looking for the kick up and that start to rise and start to level, because that's what we want. Rise, 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 until it's pretty much hit that point where Google says, "Bah, here's really where you're at." And then we level off there, because then once we start leveling off right there, that's when it's time to go selling the site and get going again. Somebody said, why not just create a bunch more pages? The answer is then we got another like 3-month curve. So you might have a second 3-month curve to what? Double your money maybe on the sale? But that's slow. Better to sell it after the first 3 months, 3 to 4, whatever it is, and then flip it and go for the next cycle, and then flip that, go for the next cycle, right? You'll make a lot more money that way, like 10 times over, after 3 months. So then you could be 100 times over after 6 months or 8 months. But that beats just double over after 6 months, maybe 8 months. So it's better to do the one up, sell it, and then do a bunch more, sell them each. Do a bunch more, sell them each. That's the idea. And that helps me pay everybody back who's been in DML positions, even though we're going through this transition, right? And for those of you guys getting in now with WFC, first in the list for what we're doing, because believe it or not, your money is extremely useful. It's not like we're lying on the beach in a hammock in Jamaica with anyone's money. We've been pouring it back into development. That's how we've been getting this far. It's literally, we just sap up our budget in this development. So when I'm looking for guys who are making payments, it's because we make more tools with that. Okay, we can generate schema. We can do different things. We can create a way to import and place images properly to the inner pages efficiently. And all of it is because it's one-time upfront system development costs followed by tons and tons and tons of payout. Okay, so we've been touching it all. How do we know if we got far enough? Right? If we're not starting to see the rise yet, are we doing something wrong, or do we just need to wait? How do we know? That's the kicker. That's the thing I want to talk about right now. For everything that we've done that we know, we need to turn to the authorities in checking our websites. And one of those authorities is Ahrefs. There's also Moz, there's also SEMrush, there are others. Ahrefs is just as competitive as these guys don't play games. Okay, I'm going to show you something, and it's going to look scary. It's not scary, but it looks scary. So here we go. We got our Skenius project here. I pulled it up. With our Skenius project, all right, I'm looking at the comparison of 2 different searches, and I'm looking at the ones that have issues versus the ones that don't. Okay, most websites, the pages have issues when you first create them. You got to go see what they are and then fix them, right? But in our case, we can do that automatically. This is not reading the content of the website. It's not doing an audit on whether you have keyword density or the right number of H2 tags. That's not what it's doing. It is looking at the invisible stuff that we miss, the stuff that we don't think about. And it's saying, there are errors in the coding, or there are errors with the way you're arranging stuff. I caught 3 right away when I used Ahrefs, and I'm embarrassed to say I recognized all 3, haven't thought about them in a long time, didn't realize they were there on our new themes, but they can all be corrected overnight. Okay, so like we can get rid of those 3 main issues and drop this red down to like here, just like that. Okay, now we haven't since this check, only because guess why? We're focused on page speed. Finish that first, get that done, then come back to this. But we actually corrected for 2 of them anyway because it was so fast to add the necessary tools. I'm going to walk through them. You're going to understand them. But it's just, I want to tell you how cool this is. This tells us if we're still making mistakes, we can double check it. Now, part of the problem with this being so huge and stuff and talking about so many links, we do not have this many pages on the website. How can it talk about 879 URLs having errors? I'll tell you. I caught on to this when I created the Ahrefs account. They said, hey, when you add a new site to it, of course you want to add the HTTPS and the HTTP and with www and not www so that we can check for everything showing up. And I was like, all right, you know, it'll be interesting to see what shows up in those combinations. So I said, yes. When you crawl a website and it's showing you your errors, it's showing you all 4 versions of every single page. So it's going through credits really fast. They like to use up credits, you know, and charge for credits is the idea, really. Get so many credits with a monthly package. And I thought, you boogers. So you're telling me, hey, you know, I'll tell you that, I don't know how many pages are on here really. Let's say 220, okay? It's saying 220 of your URLs aren't showing up. All the ones with http://www. And I'm like, yeah, we don't want them to show up. I hope they have errors. They're not supposed to be visible. We're not supposed to be able to find them. And then it goes, oh, but also your http:// whatever it is without the www. And I'm like, that's still HTTP. It's insecure. I don't want that to show up. And they're going, oh, okay, well, what about your https://www. And I'm like, I don't want that to show up either. We think that that makes it harder to read the URLs. It's just in the way. Take it out. We structure everything in our sitemaps to get rid of www. So I should have put all 4 versions in here because 3/4 of them are going to have errors. The other quarter are the pages that we care about. We don't care about those other 3/4. I'll figure out how to turn that stuff off or how to filter that stuff out soon. I'm getting used to this. I haven't been inside here. Now, having explained that, it did point stuff out to me I didn't know. 3. And they were massively influential. Let me show you what I mean. Okay? Here's a landscape. Or, sorry, a sitemap on a landscape website. So let me make this point. You know this as well as we do. All the pages you create, you're going to want links to those pages, okay? And you can't just put links to every one of those pages on the home page. So you want to be able to click on this one to get to this page. And in here, you've got links to some of the other pages. And then you've got links on those pages to other pages. We're interlinking the site, right? And or we put like popular pages on the side, but you can't do it with all the pages of your sitemap. Then you think, okay, well, what at least is a catch-all? And the answer is simple. Add a sitemap link in the bottom somewhere, which, where the heck is it? Now that I'm looking for it, I don't see it, but there's supposed to be one here. I'll double check. Anyway, the sitemap link in the bottom, wherever the heck it's supposed to be in the bottom. Ha, I'm laughing now that I can't control a sitemap. It's not here. But that's not the error. I'm going to show you the error because I found out on other sites I checked. The sitemap link needs to be there. And then when you click on it, okay, what's it give you? Let me get back to it. Right here, sitemap link. Okay, well now we can click to any page on the website, right? This should count. This, by the way, is all our pages that are on the website right now, okay? And yeah, a lot of these are based on low keyword difficulty, high volume keywords. So this is gonna start to pay us back soon. But we have to correct the errors that we didn't know was gonna stop us from ranking. Error number 1, even though the sitemap link is here and is on the footer of the main website, or should be. I mean, I can add it right now, but that's not what the problem is. The problem is, because that is one problem, but I normally never make that mistake. So yeah, I'll go fix that, but there's still another problem. Here's what it is. Google would come and it would hit this page, say, from the link in the footer and hit this. What's it supposed to be able to do? Click any of these and get to any of those pages, which it can do. If I click any of these, it'll go to the page. All right, no orphaned pages. All our pages here should be indexable because they are able to be visited starting with the home page. You go home to sitemap to any one of the pages. There is a chain of linkage that leads to every page on the website starting from the home page. Through some series of clicks, I can get anywhere. So that's not the problem. What's the problem? This I was so embarrassed to see. I knew about this and we fixed it before, but it's been years and I never thought about it. View page source. See this stuff up here? It declares that this is a web page. This was not here yesterday. You know where the page started? On the very first link. And it went down to the very last link and nothing closed the web page. You know what that means? This document here never declared to Google it was a web page. So Google said, well, I can't treat you as anything. So the page doesn't count for Google. So then Google's question is, okay, how else do I get to every one of these links on your website? You know, any one of these links on your website so I can index them, whichever ones I can get to. The answer is, you really can't. Right now, there are a handful of pages you could click through to, but we haven't done the whole interlinking thing because we're still working on that tool. But we were relying on the sitemap to at least connect the pages so they're indexable. And I was wrong. They're not able to be connected to the front page because this was not considered a web page just today. Now I can resubmit the sitemap, wait for Google, and when Google finally gets to it, it'll go, oh, now I see you have a bunch of web pages on your website that I can get to rank. And I'll say, okay, great. And it'll say, but I still can't index them. And I'll say, why? And there are two more reasons. That Ahrefs caught for me because I wasn't paying enough attention. Say I land on one of these pages from the sitemap. Nothing wrong. Don't see a problem here, other than obviously the sitemap link should probably be in the footer. So I have at least all the pages have a link to the sitemap. It's cool, smart even. But guess what the problems were? There were two. If I do view source code right now, and I'll bring one up, there are HTTP links in my coding. HTTP:// I have a secured web page, HTTPS, but inside the web page are 10 cases of insecure links. You know what that means to Google? That this page is not secure. It's not safe to visit. Oh, how hard is it to fix? We build the tool in our remote control system that just combs through all the pages for the domains we give it and changes all cases of HTTP: to HTTPS:, and that's it. Because there's nothing anymore that's left out there in the whole world that needs to be HTTP. If there is, it wasn't worth having on our page in the first place. So I don't care if it is a broken link, which Ahrefs will tell us later, and we can decide to remove it or something. But we're not going to have that problem. These are links to other pages on the site. We'll link out to other authority sites. We'll have links for Google Fonts and YouTube and stuff, and all of that uses HTTPS. You won't see any authority sites that are HTTP anymore. Everything's HTTPS. Stupid simple fix, right? Okay, now I'm going to resubmit the sitemap to Google. Here you go, index the pages. Google goes, great, I see it fixed that. So now your sitemap works. It's on all your pages too. That's even cooler because you have many points to all this list. It's not too big a sitemap. There's nothing up to 1,000 links per page, okay? And then it goes, well, I'm sorry, up to 200 for reading, up to 1,000 for XML. Then it goes, all these HTTPs are corrected. They're HTTPS. The page is now secure. No problem anymore, but I still can't index your pages. I'm sitting here thinking, what did I miss? Found it out. It's another one of those things that we corrected just yesterday. Canonical. See this? Every URL has a canonical link, or at least it should. Somebody should have created the coding to specify the canonical URL to say whatever version you're on, the HTTP or the HTTPS with or without www dot, which is the preferred one, because otherwise we've got 3 duplicate pages of one page. We don't want to tell Google that every page we have has 3 duplicates. Google doesn't like that. So the canonical lets us tell Google which we care about. Obviously, it's going to be HTTPS, and whether it's www dot or not is a personal preference. It's okay, except for in one case. In our HT access coding, we don't like www dot, so we force all the pages that anybody types with the www dot or anything that's written with the www, we force when the page appears to switch to the non-www dot version. Okay, so what's the problem? A lot of our web pages said www dot in the canonical, even though the www dot doesn't exist, because it switches instantly to the non-www dot. www dot. So Google can never see the original page. The canonical page did not exist in Google's eyes. How hard is that to fix? We already created that tool. Control F, canonical. See, fix canonical, which lets us put in the list. See, I got logged out. Let's just put in the list of websites we want to deal with, and it goes to every one of them and changes every canonical link on every single page to take out the www dot. Can you believe how silly it is? Stupid, simple things that stop our ability to rank cool. So anytime we ever thought, I wonder why Google's not ranking our websites, I'm finally deferring to the source and working through the errors and knocking these things out. Last update I did was on the 25th. It's the 27th. We took care of most of the issues. We understand the rest. We're going to have the stupid thing beat real soon. This, guys, is the universal standard. Okay? The people in power who want to rank and they're checking their websites for issues. Ahrefs is one of them. They're a $100 million a year revenue company because they are that good and they compete at the top of the level of their game. What that means is by making sure they don't have problems, then we can move on to stuff like Rank Tracker, and it'll tell us the keywords we rank for. It'll even tell us the keywords that we're like between 11 and 15 for on page 2. We can filter and say, show me those. You know why? They're close to page 1, but not there. You know what we can do with those? I'm going to show you. Control F. Generate articles. This right here, generate articles, allows us to create web pages onto the websites, okay? Download the sample file. One piece we added recently. Let me see. Page markers allow us to categorize pages by type. Say I'm doing a bunch of locksmith websites. I got pages for automotive, pages for commercial, pages for residential, pages for emergency. But all the titles and everything are different. How am I supposed to easily know which is which if I want to put commercial images up and I only want to put them into commercial pages, but it might say business in the URL, not commercial. It might say business all throughout the page and not commercial. Right? And it might not say business, it might say office. Securing your office. You know, how am I supposed to know which are the right pages to stick the images on? Well, when I go creating the web pages in the first place, I can mark them. Automotive, commercial, emergency, residential. And then when I'm going through websites and I'm creating their unique pages, but I've got them in stacks like that, I get to mark them. So I know all my automotive pages, so I can upload images just to those. I can filter and upload just to those. I know all my commercial pages, create a bunch of commercial images, locksmith images, and filter and upload just to the commercial pages. See? That's the page marker. Totally valuable, whether we're adding images or not. Okay? Whether we show the page in the menu or if it's just in the sitemap or linked from paragraphs. Okay? A lot of things. If we want to put pages underneath other pages, we can mark the parent page. Okay? What else do we have though? Do we want to rewrite the title? Sometimes. Say it's just like home, automotive, residential, commercial, emergency, contact us or something. But we don't want all of the websites to have the exact same stupid title, right? And frankly, that's not the title of the page menu like that. That's the browser title. So it'll look at our browser titles and create unique variations that stay on point and use the same tokens, if we have tokens in there. That way, we have unique titles for every relevant page. It's not the same stupid title on all these websites, which is like plagiarism, okay? So that is cool. We can do that yes or no, 0 or 1 all the way through. What about this one? Option is overwrite or append. Say I already created the pages, but I open this file in a week, and then I want to rerun it. And I want to make some change to the query, and I'm going to say, hey, do it this way now. But I'm going to stick with the same everything, same page slugs. I'm going to turn off rewriting the title. I'm going to make it 0 all the way down. You know, and my point is this. I can change images to 0. Here's my point. Are we overwriting the page? In which case I can create the chopped down version of this for whichever pages had some kind of a weird problem and I felt like rewriting them. Or are we adding value to the page? Appending. We're creating some more content onto the page to make it even more about the topic. So I'll adjust my query to have it create more, create a new section, either pro versus con, or facts, or case studies, or summary, or anything else that's new and different that I haven't yet put on the page, but I'm adding it, I'm appending. Why? Because if my page is ranking somewhere between positions 11 and 15, that means they're getting close to the front page, but they're not there yet. Or even if they're at the bottom of the front page and I want them to rise higher. So I could say, show me everything between position 6 and 15. And then it shows me. And I can use those URLs in here, and I can just overwrite those or append in this case to those, because I want to keep the content there that got them that high, but I want to add more content so they can rank higher because they're deserving of more now. They're talking more about the topic. And yeah, I can add images into the more content. Okay? I think you get the idea. You want to get into the website flipping club because we're defeating, and as a matter of fact, it's 2 sets of scores. I got to point this out. I guess I haven't finished this thing, have I? I forgot. Couple more things. Expo Tavern. What did I want to say? I said, let's look at some page, and I put up, here's what I want to say. How close are we? Okay, we got the menu. Content starts here. Images in the page. As you see, that's the kind of thing we almost have completely done. Oh, this is all ads. This is ads for all birds, right? Another ad, Bluehost. Try Bluehost, right? WordPress, whatever. Okay, image. I mean, first there was a menu, and then there's an image. So far, that's all the work. You come down. Oh, there's an H1 tag. Make some comment about who and when. You know, we can always spoof that because it's spoofable. Bit of an intro. Ads. Content. This old table of contents box that we already have automatically. Did I show you guys that? Add table of content. I upload a file that says, here are the domains, here are the pages that are in the menu, and the pages that are in the sitemap but not in the menu. That way we can decide, do we want table of contents on the menu pages or not? Maybe we don't. Maybe we do. But what about all those doorway pages that we're creating, the mass traffic pages for the general information? We probably want table of contents in those to be sure. So it's personal preference whether we want it in the menu. So that's a 0 or 1 for menu links. And then there's the sitemap, which we can say 0 or 1. But we're going to say 1 for all those domains. And you know what? I upload that, hit go, and within seconds per 100 websites, few seconds, like 5, it created the table of contents on every one of the pages that apply. Unbelievable. Okay? So now we have that. That whole thing about this box right here. For every H2 tag and every H3 tag, We created this box onto every one of those pages for hundreds and hundreds of, like hundreds of websites times 50 pages each, should be 5,000 pages in seconds. They're done. Now I can hit something like this and it'll take me right down there. That organization right there, massively important. Then what? Info, and then add some stuff of value. Like in this case, they put that there. Cool little boxes like key takeaway. You might think, wow, I wonder if you could color code it. First of all, it's not necessary. I've seen so many websites. They don't all have this. They don't all have that. They have different things, whatever they are. But we can do it. We can say whenever we have key takeaway, okay, as like an H3 tag with a span ID, then make this paragraph, give it that background color in the paragraph. Okay? That's all it really takes. That's really how easy that is. See how their next key takeaway has the same thing going on? Yeah, sure. That's just because that's what they did as the rule. It can be whatever's the paragraphs until the next header. Stupid simple. All right, so anyway, a little more content, ads. Content, ads. Content, content, content. Frequently asked questions, conclusion. Then what? A link to the page that came before and a link to the page that came after, which for us is perfectly cool because in the sitemap, we've been gathering up these keywords and putting them in. They're all relevant. It's the way we search for the keywords in SpyFu. It's show me the related keywords. We're going to build a page for each of them that beats our filter. They have minimum 5 visitors a month and they cap out at a keyword difficulty of whatever, 25. So then all those pages we create, this is just a link to the page that came before, a link to the page that came after. Simple, okay? That's an ad, this whole thing. Little wording, an ad. One thought. Oh, that's awesome. See this? This is a reply that was put up here at a certain time, right? Leave a comment. First of all, we already have this box. So you can already flip it on the web pages. We can already flip it on. Okay? Second of all, we can create these comments with random names and random comments. It's not important whether these are real people. It really isn't important at all. But this gives the impression that the page is active, that somebody's been to it, somebody's read it. You know why it's got one? They probably created a reply on most of their pages, if not all of them, just to give each page some oomph. So since they're going through all their pages, they haven't focused on each one. They just, made sure to cover the ground, right? Okay, and then what? Then it's done. It's over. Everything's done. So, you know how close we are? It's insane. So what's left? We check the page speed. They have great page speed. They went out of their way. We've got great page speed. We went out of our way. They got that table of contents. We got that table of contents. God, you know what I think they spent to get the website up there? I think they spent, this is the reason I kept these up. I think they spent something like this, or they're using a package that's equivalent in value. They are probably paying something like this to get the website up that high in page speed so it can grab so much traffic. You might think, well, that's kind of expensive, $1,800 a year. Yeah, but have you seen the SEO value of their traffic by the month? It's like $30,000 a month in the value of the traffic, okay? Way beats $1,800 a year for the page speed. It's just we don't need to rent their page speed controls because we can just create our own page speed controls for free that are just part of the websites. The other thing I think they spent, besides that $1,800 a year, they're paying like half a penny, slightly less than half a penny for the contents for their pages because they're going through their pages much like Content at Scale describes the way they do pages. Okay, all the stuff about intro, summary explanation, outline, compare A with B, pros and cons, FAQ, case studies, summary, and conclusion is basically what these guys do. Okay? But half a penny per word, even if it's slightly less, even if it's 0.4 cents per penny, they're creating pages that are often 2,500 words times 0.4, times 0.04, okay? Like $100 a page? Is that right? Did I do the math right on that even? And here's why. I was thinking they said 2,800 words or something like that on average. What did they say? They said the pages are typically how much? Like 2,750 or something. Oh, 2,975. Of course, they make their money on that. 2,975 times 0.004. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, it's like $12 a page. So 12 times. They got like 300 pages on their site right now. $3,600. So 3,600 plus, what did we say? 1,800. That's 5,400. And the rest of their website. Hosting, domain, cPanel, server tech, who knows what else they have going on. Okay? So they might easily be spending like $6,000. I don't care. Even if you take all the other expenses down quite a bit, it's like still $5,500 per year for the website. Okay, $5,500 for a website that good. We are saving you guys from that expense. Okay, even if you did it yourself, right? It's markedly cheaper with us doing the work for you. The whole website's $1,500 with everything included, and you don't need to think about this stuff. That's another thing. Beating the robot score, we can do this too, right? I was showing you guys in an earlier video, we know how to do this, okay? Highly likely to be human scores, right? And what's that mean? Same thing now. When we're writing about, who knows what we're writing about, Stronger Cappuccino or Macchiato, whether it's landscaping, airsoft, paintball, horse trailers, anything else, there's so many things. Then anything for pets, for kids, for automotive, so many things, then we can also do this. Not that it's really important, it's just perceived to be. So when we go to make the website sell, we get to point that out. You know what I think is going to be one of the biggest selling points of our websites and make them sell better for more is page speed. And the reason for that, exactly, yes, sorry, I got like 100,000 things on the website now, because we're getting the scores without the costs, right? Talk about insane. I mean, we're already saving people so much just on that. And it means that they get a lot of hang time because Google loves speed like that. When you can load websites just like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, and it's loaded, right? Then that's it. That's the whole point right there. Okay, guys. You want to get into the website flipping club? Do it. Now is the right time. We are wrapping up these templates. We have 10 done. We've got 35 more to go. We'll be done probably in 10 days, and then we're going to go ballistic with production through all these things because the rest of our tools will be finalized, right? Stuff like what I've been talking about, the HTTP to HTTPS. It's going to be the same as the canonical. We're just going to put in all the domains, hit go, and it'll just fix them. Just like that. So our audits are going to be clean. Okay, we're going to be sharing that stuff with people. We're going to share the sites with you and everything else. And all this backwards engineering and training is so that if you want to, go out and explore a little, see kind of what's going on. And if you see something we can or should do or add, come back and tell us. You co-own the website 50% with us. You get half the money on the sell of your website flipping club websites. However many you get, however often you get them. So the reality check is, yeah, let us know what we can do to improve this, the page speed. Well, the page speed, I mean, we're going to be past that. Improve the score. Say, hey, you should put a section in about ABC, whatever it is that nobody's talking about in this particular thing. Because it came up and it's new, it's huge, and everybody's talking about it now. Okay, we can do that. We can append the content and pull images in for it automatically. Either Creative Commons license images or DALL-E animated images. Either one. Okay. So yeah, we can absolutely make the websites better, faster, ASAP, so that they rank higher and we can sell them for more and flip them, flip them, flip them. Imagine that. How long would it take for me to be paying you guys out at 10 times over on the monies that you put in for DML, in a year? If, say I started with 1,500 and I could do 3 flips, 3 month, 6 month, 9 month, for example, okay? Or 4 month, 8 month, 12 month, I don't care, maybe a year out. What's it mean? Think about this. 1,500 flipped, flip. Say I got 10 times over on the money because the websites are selling for 20 times as much. You're getting the other 10 times over on the money, right? Your 1,500 times 10 is 15,000, okay? In 3 months or 4. That's the goal, and it can easily be that way with the power that we have going into these websites. But whatever, say I got 1,500 times 10 times on the second flip, 10 times on the second or third flip. That's 1.5 million. You know what that means? Even if I was paying 10 times over on an average DML investment of 1,500 or 2,500 even, that'd be 25,000. What does 1,500,000 divided by 2,500 say as an average? That would be paying out 600 of you, except that there's nothing like 600 of you on that thing. Okay, there are only a handful of you in there, a relative handful. So what it means is, yeah, we get everyone covered. I'm telling you, I'm excited like you wouldn't believe. So yeah, what I would say is help us out. When you're getting a website, Flipping Club website, it's for you and it's for us, but it's also so we can finish off all these kinds of tools that we do, finish off the page speed on the other templates. We can just pump this stuff into production and then just audit. Make sure everything's great on the audits here, then start rank tracking. See where we're at on rank tracking and all the stuff that goes into that. That'll be the next step. We'll flip it on and start tracking all the websites and all the rank and see what we're going to do from there. But it's so easy. We just append and add content to that list of URLs. I am totally excited. All right, guys, get a hold of me if you want to get in. I can send you either for PayPal or for credit card, and you can make the payment, and you're in the line. Remember the importance of getting in line for these things, because the next buyer backlinks into you. The next buyer backlinks into them. The next buyer backlinks into them. One guy asked me, so what if you're doing different industries? Then the answer is yes, I'll do like for like. If we're doing landscaping and it gets you in the landscaping line, it'll be the landscaping guys backlinking through you. Because of the airsoft, it's not really important that they're backlinking into you, although we'll do some testing on that, like what about airsoft, paintball, and so on. If we find just a related page on each of these sites that can backlink into here somehow, there's got to be a way. Airsoft fields, they're outside in the grass. Landscaping is outside in the grass. I'm sure there's some kind of overlap in there somewhere. How many backlinks do you need on each different domain to count for backlinking? 1. If it comes from a related page, that's better. If it comes from a related website, that's even better. But if I can just throw these in for free, for the heck of it, for whatever they're worth, because it's only one link each, there's no spam. Okay? And then the rest of it is straight in industry, huge. Another thing, for everyone who buys these sites, you're not going to rip the pages down, because why would they buy the sites if they're going to rip the pages down? I mean, it's the pages that already produce the traffic is the reason they buy the sites. So if they're not going to rip the pages down, they are not partial to what's on the pages. They just want the site traffic to continue working. They probably threw their ads in there, right? Nothing stops us from being able to make sure that we get an ad in there, here and there on the pages, where it's out of their way, to your stuff, like your Amazon thing or whatever it is. So even the websites, after they're sold, we still have the ability to remote control into them. So unless somebody had a clause that said, do not touch my website, which frankly is a mistake, because we can help them keep their website up. And we'll talk to them about it if that clause is there after the fact. You know, the sale's made, they're happy, they got it up. And we'll just check in with them, see how it's going, and if they'd like any help with their website. And in exchange, we'll put a couple of links out to ourselves. Won't harm them at all. It's just external authority links or whatever. We'll just set it as smart imagery with a point made on it, just in some spot on each page where it applies. And that's cool. And they're going to want it, because if we're helping them a little bit, append some content to their websites in exchange for that, wow. I mean, I'm going to put my links in there too. Okay? I'll keep those up. That'll be for me and that'll be for you. Okay, this is crazy. I don't know anyone that's got a program like this, or a real program like this, where we can do this. We can make the money on the sites live, AdSense plus Amazon and or any other affiliate link structure, and then split the money on the sale, And you can spin around and buy more positions with some or all of that money, up to you, to keep going, to keep growing, because this goes on so big. There's no way I'm going to come to an end of what I can do on my own for myself. Between 50 and 100,000 websites expire every day. And all of these industries have tons of keywords. You can't rank for them all. You're going to put up like 200 to 300 pages on a website, and that's about it. Then you're going to, get it to curve up here, and you're going to put it up for sale. And you're going to take the money from that and buy a bunch more and do the same things, freshness of content. And then while we're doing that with this set of sites, we're using another set of keywords, maybe in the same industry here, another set of keywords in the same industry. It's like 1 million keywords, 100,000 keywords for landscaping. If we were showing up for 200,000 keywords, 20,000 keywords per silo, it'd be 5 silos with no overlap, basically. Crazy. And if we wanted 10 times in each silo, 10 front page results, we need 10 websites times 5, 50 websites just for landscaping. And we build those up and sell off those 50. And what do we do next? Build a bunch more. Could be 500. Roll them up. Okay, using all the same contents. Or the next 50 plus. We've got so many industries to go after. Yeah, I'm really floored. Empire Flippers, we're staring at all the sales of these things, Empire Flippers. The websites, how much they make per month. It's either what they make in terms of revenue or what the SEO value of the links, of the listing value is. And when you do that, I do that later. When you do that, you can sell for like 30 to 40 times over, especially if you have things like page speed mastered, since it's rare. But look at this, travel. And look at that. It's a website selling for over 1 million for travel. What about dating and lifestyle? Basically, apparel and accessories, beauty, baby. And this is a website that's only making this much a month on sale for that. Okay? Now, sure, there's going to be negotiation and stuff, but so what? I mean, $1,500 in, your money, our expertise can cause this so that something approaching this can happen. Maybe $600K on the final sale. Crazy, right? This is insane. This is the potential of 3 to 4 months. And we have all these industries to work in, and we can make all these websites. And the guys who buy from us once are going to be the first guys we approach for the next like value websites, right? If they wanted the one landscaping website, they might very well want 10, okay? To capture more of that front page traffic, right? What if they're getting however many hits a month, and we could give them another website that gets them however many hits a month again, And for the guys who know, for income producing assets, they run to the bank. Get a bank loan against the obvious revenue stream. That's what they can secure it with. You might hear, you can't get a bank loan for a website. Yeah, not a new one that has no traffic. But getting a bank loan for a website that's got traffic, that's a revenue source. Now the bank is doing the math against the revenue source. That's a very different thing. Make sense? Okay, I'll talk to you about this stuff in more detail later, but like I say, contact me. Let me know if you're ready for the Website Flipping Club. It's $1,500. You get a site per site, right? If you want to get more, get more. I've had guys get even 3 at once because they want the next guys, the backlinks, to go into them. And either it's one guy doing that, then the next guy's down, or one guy to that, the next guy down to that, next guy down to that. I'll pay attention to that and decide. But I'm sure I'm going to do all 3 with this guy and then this guy going into him anyway, even if he backlinks up into them, just to keep the balance of power. Should these guys feel pain from that, or do they? No. Because as more guys are coming, backlinking into them, that's strong. For them, it's external authority links. Google likes that. For these guys, it's external authority links too. And for them, it's internal links as well as external authority links. This is the stuff Google wants. So this is the flow we're going to have for everyone. It's the right idea. And can we slip back through a lot of these websites and get your links into a bunch of the pages? Yeah. Whenever we're not interfering with something somebody's doing, and they obviously don't care about they don't want to mess with the pages. They don't want to disturb the flow. but we know what we can do. We can slip in the Amazon thing into the middle of a page and it will not disturb the page. The page is not going to go down as a result of that. So we can absolutely take huge advantage of that too. There's a lot we can do here that we don't even know about. And by the way, I can just offer a simple deal to each of the guys who buy the websites to keep their websites up in exchange for. We get to have our affiliate links just here and there, not interfering with them. Okay? All right. Hope you found this interesting. I know it's been a long topic, but we covered a ton, and I think it's pretty amazing. The biggest thing I want to say is it's not just up to Dave anymore whether it's going to work. It's up to Ahrefs. We get to find out from Ahrefs everything we're doing right and everything we need to do next so that we don't mess anything up. We make sure we're on track and we get all the errors resolved. Next time I run this audit, it'll be a day or two after we get that piece into VI that corrects for the HTTPS or HTTP to HTTPS, and most of this stuff is just going to vanish. But whenever I see errors, man, I'm going to pounce on them. We're going to fix them. We're not going to have any errors. And if we don't have any errors, we are definitely doing the game right. Expired authority domains, table of contents, max page speed, clean coding, top coding on Amazon servers. Everything's amazing. There's no way we can really lose. And especially because we have our remote control tools. So we can add new content in, do whatever we want, bring in some more images, do whatever we want. Duplicate page names, no problem. We'll fix that automatically with GPT-4. Just boom, fixed, I'm really amazed that we got this far, and I'm really, really excited because of what it means. We can set ourselves free. All right, can't wait. So looking forward to you reaching out to me as soon as you're ready. You can do it on Skype. You can give me a call. Let's go.